Yo, yo, it's time to discover the flow. Shout out to the bros. You know, I like to welcome everybody to discover the flow. No matter how you discover the show or discover the bros, now you about to see how far we can go, because it's time for discover the flow. Yeah, cowabunga do. You know live is how we come to you. Turn the levels up when you hear the boys coming through. The pod squad giving you just what you need, hitting you with a new special guest every week. Don't you dare hit skip, man, it's Tristan and Kip. DTF pod about to take you on a trip. Mega Ran bring the heat, yeah. But be clear, I wasn't even supposed to be here. Welcome to Discover the Flow. No matter how you discovered the show or discovered the bros, now you about to see how far we can go, because it's time for Discover the Flow. Let's start the show.
We can do with kind of rigging stuff up, and
that works.
Thanks for your patience.
Well, I'd like to start out by apologizing for my my broadcast partner here, who doesn't know how to spell your name properly.
Yeah, I thought you were Brittany Barbary.
He's been referring to you as Charlie Mewshaw the whole time. I said that he's not an athlete. I don't think.
No. It's yeah. So it's fine. I would. It's a big compliment to be confused for Brittany. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
If that's who you thought you were getting, you're stuck with me. It's going to be a long hour.
We'll be all right.
The best part was, like, I looked back through the email chain and I was like, "Oh, damn, dude, I did it the whole time, and he never even corrected me."
I'm sure you probably had worse things said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's a common thing. So it's
so
fine.
Charlie Mewshaw. For our listeners that are out
Rub it
there
in,
that
huh?
may or may not know who you are, Mr. Mewshaw.
You don't have to say it over and over.
Oh, I'm doing it.
He's gonna make it.
It's-
He's gonna make it weird, like how every time Bret Hart would always say Bill Goldberg instead of just Goldberg.
Right.
But the Ultimate Warrior would completely mispronounce Hulk Hogan every time. Yeah.
Look, Hogan.
But,
Hulk
Hogan.
Right.
Yeah. So for our listeners out there, would you please tell us who you are and what it is that you do?
Sure. So I'm Charlie Mewshaw. I am one of the hosts on Lost Monster Files. It's phonetic.
Sorry.
So I'm
I can remember which way I have to go to there. Okay.
So I'm one of the hosts of Lost Monster Files on Discovery and Travel and HBO. But they put that show everywhere. So it's on Discovery, Travel, and HBO Max. So if you have any of those, you can find it. On that show, we dug through the archives of cryptozoologist Ivan Sanderson, which was really cool, and then tried to search down like modern correlations to his research from a couple decades ago. Okay. I'm also an author. I write a series of books and host a podcast called Arcane Carolinas, which focuses on the history and verifiable science behind tales of the unknown, like cryptids, ghosts, UFOs, stuff like that. Some people will say that, "Oh, you're a debunker." I'm like, "No, I'm not a debunker. Like, I like to figure out. I want to prove it, right? Like, I want to prove it's real. I don't want to debunk it. I want to apply like actual history and science and figure out like, how can we demonstrate that this is plausible?"
I'm always amazed by people who want to debunk that stuff. Like, come on, you don't want Bigfoot to be real. You don't want
right.
the Loch Ness Monster or aliens to be like, those are the coolest things on the planet. It's what we all grew up in.
Right.
I never went to the library as a kid and checked out a book other than crap like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
One of the things that I really liked about, I watched a few episodes of the Lost Monster Files. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really liked is that you guys kind of, the way it's set up, you guys kind of say, is it unknown, or is it something we haven't found yet, or is it something that somebody made up? You know, is it just complete hooey? So, and I really like that idea of going into it saying, this is just something we haven't found yet. Mm-hmm. Like this is just a species. There's got to be thousands of species that haven't been discovered yet. And they prove that with insects and things like that all the time.
Dude, did you see the I can't shut up about this. So I'm sorry if you've heard
Oh,
me
go ahead.
this somewhere. Did you hear about like the crazy fish they found? I think it was in like 2023. Like these deep water fish. They found these like ultra like light absorbent black fish that like live way down. They're like super adapted to the environment, and like these species had never been discovered before, and they look like sea monsters. And I'm like, there it is. See, look at that. Like, there you go. Are they gigantic? No, but that's freaky. If you saw that, you'd be like, it's a monster.
But if it exists now that small, there had to be a point in time where it was bigger, because everything was bigger at some point.
Absolutely. Including the mispronunciations of my name. There used to be a lot of them. Just having one isn't that bad.
It used to be a bigger thing, but now we're just kind of belittling it until it feels very small.
Right.
Until it feels insecure.
But that's me in a nutshell as far as like the entertainment side. In the real world, I work at a public university. I teach some classes. I work on the administrative side. So that's it. That's me.
So you were talking about a series of books that you have out as well. Like, can you tell us some more about those?
Sure. Thank you, because one just came out and it's brand new, and I'd love to plug it.
Excellent.
So
we do.
Arcane.
This is where we say link in the description below.
Yeah, there you go. So Arcane Carolinas is the name of the book series, and it's essentially a grab bag of stories from the Southeast, particularly in the Carolinas. But you don't have to be from here to enjoy them, and you don't have to pick any particular one to start with. They're all just a collection of stories. There's so many that it's like if you did one, it would be this giant leather-bound tome that like takes up massive amounts of space on the shelf that we'd never finish. So myself and my co-host on the podcast of the same name, to your point about going to the library and finding a weird book that inspired you, that's why we started writing them. Nice. We were like, okay, we'll keep it PG. We'll put real science and real history in there as we explore these legends and sort of weave together like here's the legend and here's what was happening when at the time of the legend's origin and the cultural input that may have inspired it or influenced it. And then here's the real science behind why that animal does seem plausible if it's a cryptid, or like why this ghost story seems like, okay, like sure, if ghosts are a thing, it makes sense for one to be there. And some of them you find out are a little scarier and that like, wow, that's probably a thing. And then some of them are fun where you're like, nope, somebody made that up for a blog. So we that's just a good story. Let's just keep that a good story and not call that history.
You're like, that one's definitely bullshit. It's cool, but it's bullshit.
Exactly. Definitely made some, maybe not enemies, but not friends with some ghost walks that are like, and this house is haunted because in 17 whatever land records show that house was built in 1903. Stop that one.
Nice try. Got great architecture, though. Good job.
Right.
My son and I have always been kind of enamored with stuff like. Thank you, Charlie, my other co-host, the giant 98-pound dog that's terrorizing me. No, my son and I used to love talking about stuff like the paranormal and everything like that. And he was always into the horror films and got me into like The Conjuring and all that. So one year we got him a family member got him a ghost tour through Chicago for a birthday present. And so we decided to wait to take it in October. And we did it then. It was nice and cool. And we walked all around, probably about a 2-mile walk, zigzagging throughout Chicago. And I'll never forget it because after about 3 or 4 hours, we're about 2 miles away from where we started at this real thin tower in Chicago. And out of nowhere, the guy goes, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. And if you want to tip me, there's my Venmo and I'll see you later. And just walked off. I was like, wait, hold on. Wait, we're not looping back around to where we started? Dude just disappeared into the city. Just fucked off. I was like, where the hell is he going? We had to GPS.
And then you found out he was a ghost.
Right?
Oh, that guy? He died years ago.
Everybody's all like, you know that guy just ripped you off, right? I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we GPS'd it. We were over 1.5 miles away from where we are. We're like, you couldn't loop it around, dude? Like, what the hell, man?
Maybe he had to take a dump.
That'd be amazing.
He might have just really had to go.
He just ditched into a back alley and he's standing on a cardboard box, like, oh, get out of me.
He's like holding it together for like the first 2 hours. He's like, God, I'm not going to be able to get him back. All right, everybody. Thanks for a good night. Bye.
At least the New Orleans ghost tour that I went on, they at least brought us back around to the start point, because I mean, it was questionable at best. It was more horror stories about the crap that people did in New Orleans than it was actual, like, these are haunted. Well, they still claim a couple of the buildings are haunted, but I wouldn't be surprised either. It's New Orleans. It's creepy. It's weird, but I digress.
We spent about 15 minutes while he would tell stories in each different area. And one of the areas that we were in was just a back alley somewhere. And I was like, is this the part of the tour where we all have to hand over our wallets? Like, is this
right?
What's going on? Like, everybody in the tour got a case of the giggles because and some people were drinking already anyways, just to make it even more fun. So, you know, but yeah.
Here's a complete aside. We can get to whatever you have on the agenda if you want, and then tell me to shut up. But something that I always found fun. Yeah.
Real quick before you go on with that, don't feel bad about getting off track or off the rails. I don't know if you know who the documentarian Malcolm Ingram is, but we did an interview with him, and I don't think we ever talked about a single thing that he worked on.
There you go.
Less than 5 minutes on his body of work, which is quite extensive.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just out there.
Please feel free to just veer off the tracks. We don't care.
So, for anybody that hears this, that hears us talking about ghost walks and tours, and it's like, that sounds interesting. Something I used to do when I was younger and could pull it off better. If I tried it now, they'd be like, get out of here, you weird old man. But I had a folder from the university, and I'd walk in like a student and be like, to a bar that's supposed to be haunted, and be like, hi, I'm doing a paper on local folklore and hauntings, and I was wondering if I could maybe get a look in the upstairs room where supposedly the ghost is or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, the bar staff or, the hotel staff or whoever, they're like, yeah, man, we'd love to talk to you. Come on. And you can get your own like back room tour and like get the inside dirt from the people that actually work in these places. I wouldn't recommend it with somebody's house, but
that'd be the most amazing con. Just in somebody's house. Suddenly you're in their attic. Like, how the hell did I end up here?
Right.
So I'm curious, how does somebody who is a cybersecurity specialist and a professor and an administrator at a university get into cryptid and cryptozoology, ghost hunting, all these things that you do? How did that come about? Because that's kind of a cool thing to get into.
I appreciate it. No, so as part of my wayward youth, it was fun to wander around and gain entry into places that you maybe shouldn't be, abandoned buildings and asylums and stuff like that. And,
old sensing a theme here.
Yeah. Old train tunnels and, basically urban exploration. Right. Mm-hmm. But being of, the age where I came up in the 80s, where it feels like it was like the golden age for spooky things, be it kids' TV shows or horror movies or, whatever, anything spooky. Like, we had it in by the bucket load. So, I had the core group of friends, and it'd be like, all right, well, it's Friday night. What are we going to do? Well, we're dorks and we don't really have anywhere to be. Nobody's inviting us anywhere. Let's grab our flashlights and go explore the old haunted tuberculosis clinic. Or, fill in, that's an actual thing.
Let's go catch an extinct strain of tuberculosis.
Right. But it was like that, right? So that's how it starts as a teenager. And let's go run around in the woods and see if we can hear something weird or see something weird. Basically thrill seeking, right? So like that's sort of like the seed, the genesis of it. And then I went to college and studied natural resource science, which people are always like, what the hell is that? I call it rocks for jocks. It's like the highest level of geology, botany, and biology that you can take, and they mush it all together, right? And most people either go get a job in landscaping with that or keep going to school. And I wound up doing neither. And I went into tech for work, right? So that's the cybersecurity angle. And I went back to school and got a master's degree in cybersecurity, and never lost the passion for the weird stuff. And then the things that I learned in the natural resource science program was actually really applicable to like having fun with your friends and kicking around ideas for cryptids and ghost hunting and that sort of thing, where, you know, people are saying like, oh, well, there's this orb of light that moves down this road. And thanks to my degree, I could be like, well, you know, there's a fault line near there. And if there's piezoelectric minerals in the soil, and, you know, it is near the coast, so, you know, they could be rubbing together and generating static that then moves through the vapor of the, you know, dense, you know, soil. And then as it evaporates up into the air, releases an electrical charge. You know, so that could be the explanation for it. And, you know, stuff like that. Or like, oh, well, this, you know, this cursed tree that's supposed to be 300 years old. Well, that variety of tree doesn't grow older than 50 years. And I'm looking at it and I can tell that it's already at the end of its life cycle. So that's definitely something somebody made up for a haunted pamphlet. So that's sort of where
the way you did the first explanation, I thought you were going to then hold up the memory eraser gimmick from Men in Black.
Oh.
And that's the end of this shitty podcast. I'm out.
No, but like, so that's sort of like, it fed the continued interest in the stories, right? Like I found more fun places to go. You know, once you're 21, you spend less nights running around in the woods and a few more nights going to the bar. But I never did.
I hope so, because it becomes very creepy after that point.
Right. But we never really gave it up as a point of conversation. And those friends that I mentioned from when I was younger, I'm still in touch with all of them today. They're all super stoked when Lost Monster Files happened. They're like, "You did it, man! You made it to the big stage!" And I'm like, "I know."
Like, they're actually paying me for this shit,
right? But the way it really reignited, so, you know, there's like a 20+ year history there, but the way it really reignited into approaching it from more of an academic lens was in 2017 or 2018. I was working at UNC Chapel Hill, and I was sitting next to a guy that through a period of attrition, we wound up being the only people left on our side of the office. And, so I would just kind of talk over the wall at him, like trying to figure out, like, this is something that didn't really come through in Lost Monster Files that I hope you're getting it now, is that because, you know, it's edited for television, they can't show everything.
Yeah.
I like to try to connect to people. I like to talk to people. And you know, it's not all, I think we need to get back out into the field. Like, some of it's just like, hey, what do you like?
So you got some interesting people on that show to talk to too. There's some interesting folks.
Yes. But I'm talking over the wall to my coworker and like just seeing whatever sticks. And I'm like, how do you feel about UFOs? It's like, what? I'm like, what do you think they are? He's like,
you got like your hands in your pockets and your head down. Right. You're like, you like stuff.
Right. So, like,
just kicking a rock.
That was the foot in the door, right? Like, with this coworker who's now, like, we talk daily, right? We no longer work together. Now we have a show that's been running for 5 years, 150 episodes, 3 books, you know, all that stuff. And wow. I eventually said to him, I was like, it was during the pandemic, so it was 2020, so fast forward a couple of years. And I was like, we should do a show, like a podcast, about all the weird stuff that's just off the beaten path, like right under the surface, like just waiting to be discussed, and like really attack it, like almost academically, like really put research into each episode and like really dig into the history and really dig into the science. And his response was, are you telling me that you're going to do this, or are you asking me to do it with you? I said, I'm asking you to do it with me. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So it started as a pandemic project, and we've been going strong. We have our big 5-year party next week, actually, and it's an event that sells out every year. We do an annual event, and, you know, now we get to do conventions and live events, and Discovery Channel found me through that, and I got to be on Lost Monster Files from that. And so that's sort of the journey. It started with all the usual mischievous kid stuff, and then an opportunity presented itself to do more and go deeper. So I took it.
Nice.
I got to ask you, for something like what you do, what is the con circuit like?
Well, it doesn't really pay. I'll tell you that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy supporting small towns. Like I jokingly call them monster towns. I love going to monster towns for their festivals and giving a talk. And I know better than to go into somebody's house and tell them their business. So I'll generally try to bring a story that's similar to their town's monster and do like a compare contrast. But yeah, that I tend to stick to smaller ones. I've done the big ones like GalaxyCon a couple of times. I did GalaxyCon Richmond. I've done GalaxyCon Raleigh. Those were cool, and I appreciate the opportunity, but I don't find them to be as enjoyable as the smaller ones.
Smaller ones seems like they would get.
Ones. Go ahead.
Yeah, the smaller ones seem like they would have more interesting people.
Yeah,
guys that have actually seen what they think is whatever this creature is, and my grandpa was sitting out on his porch, and I affect an accent that's probably
fantastic
wrong,
accent.
But that was probably a little insensitive, but no, they got to be great people to talk to because they're there.
And I think that's why I like it. I actually carry a business card with me to all of them, and it just has my name on it and my email, and just says, I want to hear your story. And when somebody comes up and it's just like, I got to tell you about whatever. And at the end, like, I'll listen and we'll talk. And then at the end, I'm like, can you write all that down? And I'll just give them the card.
This will be great on my podcast.
Hey, can you do that one more time?
Right. Because I do think that that's what it's all about. Like when you look at cases of the unexplained or even just bizarre hidden history, right? Like an atomic bomb got dropped in North Carolina. Like people don't talk about that.
I never would have guessed that.
It didn't detonate because the switch wasn't.
I don't remember that happening ever. But,
yeah, no, it was
about 6 months ago, and I felt stupid almost for not knowing this ahead of time because I've always been a World War II buff. But I learned about 6 months ago that there was like a 5-year gap between Pearl Harbor and us bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like I knew all about it and everything. I guess I just never looked into the timeline where like I thought it was more of an immediate response. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's pop culture has a way of warping our perception, I think, of timelines in history.
Hollywood's a big one for that,
Yeah, but so look up if you're interested the Mars Bluff incident where an atomic bomb got dropped. It's actually kind of like Dr. Strangelove. Like there was like a guy sitting on it, like in the bay, in the plane, and he had to like hold on. He was pulling himself out of the bay, and he grabbed the latch. It was almost a Dr. Strangelove dude riding a bomb situation. But he
little nerdy moment for you. The guy riding the bomb in the movie is Slim Pickens, who is also one of the stars of Blazing Saddles.
Right, there you go. I'm having a really good time. I think I found the right podcast to come on.
Right?
we're having an excellent.
Welcome home, Charlie. Welcome home.
Yeah. But that's why I like. So your question was before I started rambling was what's the con circuit for me? It's an excuse to go on trips, basically, and I'll drag my family with me, and my kids and my wife have gone along to plenty of things that are few people's idea of a vacation where I'm like, there's a weird rock I need to go inspect in the western part of the state. Come on. And they're like, what? I'm like, we're going to get an Airbnb. It's going to be fine. You'll stay in the cabin, do whatever you want. I got to go look at this rock.
It's a rock, but the moss grows on the south side of it. I don't understand why. We got to figure it out.
Right.
I love asking people this, especially when they have a unique job like yours and stuff. Like, what do your kids think? Like, is dad weird? Is dad cool? Like, or do they not give a crap either way?
So my kids are 9 and 5, and the 9-year-old, last
he's right
year,
in the place to like Bigfoot.
you would think, and I was in between like being out on the road, and I was like taking him to school, and he's in the back seat, and he goes, "Dad, do you think Bigfoot's real?" And I was like, "Somebody at school talked to you about this?" He's like, "I just want to know what you really think." And I was like, "I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot. I don't believe that we have definitive proof, but I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot." And he's 9. He goes, "I don't know if he's real, Dad." I was just like, "Oh, bummer."
This is when you divert the conversation and be like,
keep the innocence.
so don't do drugs, right?
So, but my 5-year-old is like, I mean, he was asking me, 30 minutes ago as I was running into this room. I was like, "I gotta go, buddy." I was like, I gotta go talk about Bigfoot." He was like, "Did you ever find him?" that's what he asked. Just like the most innocent. He goes, "Did you ever find him?" And I looked at him.
Yeah, he lives in Cleveland.
Yeah, I went, "Not yet, bud, not yet." And he was like, and his response to that was so pure. He goes, "It's probably because he's like really way out there in the woods." And I went, "Yeah, probably, bud. All right, I gotta go.
And he might not be wrong. I mean, that might be exactly what the situation is. There's a whole lot of wilderness that can't be explored or hasn't been.
Yeah, I don't think that people really appreciate how much space there is still in the world.
Yeah.
Like open space. Depending on if you live in a city, it feels very dense. If you live in the suburbs, it feels like a sprawl, right? Even in the like what we call rural, you feel like, oh well, I know my neighbor, and like, yeah, they might live, a quarter mile down the road, but I know what's there, and I know who owns the land, and we hunt the land and whatever. But like, man, you really get out there, and there is some like wide open space, like huge tracts of Monty Python, massive tracts of land.
And I've been in some crazy places where they're so dense that the trees are like a box of Q-tips, like they're just that close. Like you don't know what's out there.
Mm-mm. And like,
and something could be hiding literally behind the next tree, and you'd never know.
No.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how many times do you walk through the woods and there's a big cat or something up in the tree that you never even knew it was there?
Yeah.
But it was, because that's what they do. They hide. If they're hungry, they attack. But there's a ton of stuff out there that we don't even know about.
I'm of the belief that it is still. There's a part of me that'll never let it go. It's like Santa Claus and pro wrestling is real. Like there's a part of me that's never going to let it go. That it's got to be out there somewhere. It's got to. But I also like the idea, and I'm okay with the idea that it might have been real in the past, like Gigantopithecus. You know what I mean, with all the stuff that they found and everything with that, and there's enough evidence to say, hey, yeah, a couple 100,000 years ago that there was probably something. And then it probably came across the giant landmass or something like that when we were all connected. Because you hear all the Native American stories, and those got to come from somewhere. You know what I mean?
And when you start to stitch together, not to like totally co-opt your line of thought, but like we're talking about
please.
Pacific Northwest, up through like Western Canada, up through Southern Alaska. Like if you stitch together the stories, you can like geographically like map, like, okay, well, these areas have like a common set of like bioresources, with regards to like food, potential areas for shelter depending on the trees and stuff, and you can actually map that. And they're like, all right, well, these people weren't talking to each other, but they all have similar stories along this one tract. So that to me gives credence to like that particular like Pacific Northwest up into British Columbia, up further up into Southern Alaska, like I just described. Like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that people saw something. And there might not be large breeding populations left, but I'm not arrogant enough to say that, oh yeah, no, well, whatever was there is gone. Like there still could be one or two. I don't know.
And there could be a whole colony of them that we don't know about because they've survived by hiding.
Right.
If something doesn't want to be found, especially up in that area, it's not going to be found.
Yes. Having been up there, it is profoundly strange in a good way. Like it's if you're into the woods and you're into nature and stuff, like it is like a profound experience to be standing in the forests up there, like in the lush green, like even in the dead of winter, it's still green. Like the forest floor and everything with the moss, and just standing there, and how quiet and dense it is. And like when you're walking through there, you can't hear anything because of the way the floor of the forest is. To your point of anything could be hiding up there.
We're not hearing you.
Sorry. What's funny is the
I'm sure that was a very profound statement too, and we just completely missed it.
Do it again, one more time.
And that's
he was
the
talking
meaning
about
of
Charlie
life.
Menshaw again. He was talking about Charlie Menshaw again.
No, but
I mean,
Charlie
turn the
Bronson
end
was over
upside
here.
down and add another
He was
loop.
over here making noise, you know. So. But no, the Gigantopithecus bones, the Dutch paleontologist that originally found them, when he found them in the Chinese apothecary shop, they were originally labeled and being sold as dragon bones.
Right. The
You know,
teeth.
like so. Yeah. And I remember hearing the guy was like, "Where did you find these?" And they took them to the spot, and they were everywhere, over hundreds of yards. Like they were finding them constantly.
So in the remains of so the Sanderson archive is really cool, right? And there is a lot of neat stuff in there. I know that there are probably, well, I know for a fact there are other pieces of, like stuff Sanderson wrote, owned by different people, but like this is a big archive, and they have a replica of the skull, of the Gigantopithecus skull, and dude, I was running around with that thing in there to the point where I'm like, all right, like look at him, like, acting like it's your head and like working the jaw. Like just to see it that big and like to hold it.
I just pictured the lady with the Chewbacca mask that would laugh. Like,
dude, if I could have worn it, I would have.
How do you not?
Right. But that was one of my favorite parts of his archive was the Gigantopithecus skull.
That's freaking amazing.
So
I mean, like, we've
ahead.
only really known about Bigfoot since what, like the 30s. I mean, that's like a blip in time. That's like 100 years or so. We've been around for hundreds of thousands of years, maybe even more. We don't know how long this thing has been here, how long it's been gone. It's an amazing topic that, like, I don't know. You can understand why it captures everybody's imagination.
So I think, to piggyback on what you just said about the amount of time, so I think that's the current popular culture like definition of Bigfoot, right? But if you go into written record, like even in Europe, they had like wild man of the woods stories, right? And they'd be like, oh, the hair-covered wild man of the woods that lived in Germany or whatever. Like, these are pretty consistent stories, and we've put this coat of paint on, well, I'm wearing a Bigfoot hat. This is what Bigfoot looks like. This is what Bigfoot looks like, and this is what Bigfoot is. Like, I don't think that there is necessarily a singular Bigfoot, right? Like, I don't think we're necessarily talking about a singular species. I think it could be like anything, right? There's big cats in multiple countries. There's,
I think it's kind of like bears. That's why you have Bigfoot and you have the Yeti and you have the mountain man, and like, there's all different types of bears, all different sizes and colors and stuff like that. But
and I think that this like predates our current popular culture conception of Bigfoot. Not to like get too, like actually about it, but I'm pretty sure that like if you really wanted to go super hard about this, and I shouldn't say I think, because I know, because I have a friend that does it. They'll be like, Bigfoot predates man and goes back to Mesopotamian times, and these like it's mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and it's like, holy shit, dude, yeah, but like also Bigfoot.
We're talking about this Bigfoot, though.
Right, we're talking about this Bigfoot, our Bigfoot.
They were using
American
Bigfoot to build the pyramids, damn it.
Right.
Not the swamp ape, not the none of that. Just
No.
our
Right.
Bigfoot.
Our
Pacific
Bigfoot.
Northwest Bigfoot.
Right. Exactly.
I love. Was it the Mississippi Mountain Man? That's the one, right? Was that the one?
I could.
What
I'm
What
blanking
was
out
it
on that.
called? Hold on. I've got it right here. Oh, the
Talking about the
Minnesota
Minnesota
Wild
Wild
Man.
Man?
Minnesota
what it
Wild
was.
Man. I'm like,
Somebody-
Mississippi Mountain Man was a wrestler, I think.
No, that was Mississippi Madman. There you go. Yeah.
Look,
No, Minnesota Wild Man. Some
My bad.
people were just like, that's just a dude on crack that glued a bunch of animal fur to him, you know?
that one's really interesting.
It would have been meth, by the way, just for the record.
I'm
But
pretty
that
sure
was
they can
interesting.
afford crack.
He must have been a chemist because I don't think either existed back then. He was pioneering. He was a pioneering chemist at the University of whatever out there. Yeah,
I
but
feel
no,
like we're working on a spec script here now. We're like, all
Yeah,
right, so we got
let's do it.
Heisenberg. We have a offshoot of a Bigfoot, but these kind of got mange. So
it becomes a murder mystery because he gets shot by this other person, like, and then just his
Right.
body disappears.
it's like when they brought Elementary forward, we're taking it backwards.
Right. So that one was cool because, like, we get out there and like get to actually talk to the dude that basically house sat for the guy that had the big block of ice. He pulled zero punches. He was just like, yeah, the thing that I house sat is distinctly different from the thing that Ivan Sanderson saw. What I saw was 110% a carnival trick. Like, it is what it is. Like, the original one disappeared and nobody knows what happened to it. And it's like, have that guy with absolutely nothing to gain or lose either way. He was just talking to us, to put it that frankly and be like, nah, that one was crap and it's different than this one. This is the real one and this is what you're chasing down. And I can tell you it wasn't here by year X because that's when I was here. So it's like, okay, well, we know that it disappeared within this time frame, and we have a written record that it was a flesh and bone specimen. Yeah, that was a weird one. There's all sorts of like weird political intrigue on that one, like with border crossings and customs seizing it, and then it like state and local government getting involved and having it released. Like, dude, it gets really weird on that one.
There was and I remember everybody going nuts over this. It was, I want to say like around 2009, 2010, maybe. There was a couple of guys in Georgia, and remember they had the rubber suit filled with like animal entrails on ice.
Dude, so I just have to remember that because I got made fun
For
of
a couple of days. They had the whole world believing, holy shit, it's real.
So that was like mid-aughts, and I remember running around at work, and I was the only person that cared in the office I was working at the time. And I'm like, yes, you guys, we got Bigfoot. It's all over the message boards. It's gonna happen because Reddit wasn't a thing and YouTube wasn't a thing, right?
He said message boards.
Right.
We're dating ourselves now.
And I'm like, this is it. This is the breakthrough we've been waiting for. It was like, shut up. Go back to your desk. Process your tickets. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to talk about Bigfoot. Nobody wants to talk about Bigfoot with me. So then when it came out that it's like full of hamburgers or whatever, and I was just like, God damn it. Somebody was like, I saw what happened with your Bigfoot. Shut up. Just shut up.
You're like, I'll be at my desk
100
doing my tickets.
Right.
Police found 137 pounds of Big Macs stuffed
Right.
inside of a rubber suit.
Secret
Like
sauce
those guys.
off.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of like animal entrails and different they took it real serious too. Like it was getting tested and everything. I think they even sold it to somebody before the test came back and they found out it was fake. So like those guys got into a lot of shit too.
So here's a question. This is a fun one, and I'm borrowing this from Brittany from Lost Monster Files because it's a question she asked me once. And I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Let's say you're driving down the road and you hit Bigfoot with your car. Assuming that your car survives and is still drivable, what do you do?
Oh, the Harry and the Henderson thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well,
It's
if
the
Hollywood
Harry
has
and
taught
Henderson
me anything.
conundrum. What do you do?
Oh, good
Oh,
Lord. That's a
God.
tough one because I have to assume that if I called the authorities, it would disappear.
Mhm.
Deep state secrets, it's going away. It's never going to see the light of day.
Right.
Except for that one country sheriff who knows what happened and becomes an absolute pariah because nobody wants to deal with him.
Mhm.
He has
But
characters in this.
I can't. Well, no, this is again the Hollywood thing, but there's no way that I could, in good conscience, leave it sitting on the side of the road
Mhm.
because that could be the anthropological discovery of the millennium.
Mhm.
But where would you go with it? There's
I'm going to
can't
be
call the
honest.
authorities. It's
If my
weird.
car is still operable and running, I'm backing up and running it over again. Because listen, I know I'm outmatched. All right,
That's
I'm
fair.
not a
Okay.
I'm
let's
not
say
a
it's
gun
dead.
owner.
I'm
Let's
having.
say it's
Wait
dead.
a minute.
It's dead.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not
Wait a
a
minute.
gun owner, so I can't double tap
I'm
the
having-
damn thing.
I'm having an existential crisis over here over what to do with this thing, and you're worried about making sure it's dead.
Listen, I can't tell people about it if it eats me or rips me
Fair
apart or
enough.
whatever. And I'm pretty sure it's not the last of its kind. And if it is, I'm sorry. You're gonna go out with tire tracks. All right.
So
It's gonna be a good year for me
I
and
would-
one bad one for you.
I would rent a refrigerated unit and ship it out to North Carolina and let you look at it.
well, thank you.
That makes me
But
think of
I get equal credit for any
Oh,
discoveries
yeah,
that you
yeah.
make.
So,
Look at that look on his face. Oh yeah, sure.
he's,
yeah,
he's gonna be like, holy
Yeah, you
shit,
get
it's
half.
real.
You
What
get
do I
half.
do? Hey, Kip,
my
this thing is
answer-
filled with hamburgers.
it's hamburgers
Big
all the
Mac?
way down. It's just hamburgers all the way down.
It's trash. I'll take care of it.
We'll
So my
throw it away
answer
for you.
would be super super boring, which would be like I'd shave a bit of it and like take samples of my own, like really quick, like on the fly, like understanding that they might get contaminated, but whatever. And then I would take it to like a biology department at a research university. I'd take it straight there and like in my car, stinking, whatever, and be like, I got this thing, and you need to start doing tests for me and notify whoever. Like, but I would
No,
take it. Yeah.
I
There's a
wish my
distinct difference
brain.
between us and you, though. You have the credentials to go to a research university and say, I have this. Here's what you need to do.
Oh,
I am a
you are putting these people on way too high of a
If
pedestal.
it was
You
me
email,
and Kip,
they will respond if you email.
if it was me and Kip, it would look a lot more like when they hit the deer or the moose and Tommy Boy, and they threw it in the back of the
the
car.
thing would wake up in the back seat. And
Yeah.
kick the shit out of the car.
Yeah, with our luck, it would just wake up in the back seat and just go ape shit while I'm doing the mess around.
Now the answer. So I told you that Brittany asked me that. So I of course said, "Well, what's your answer?" Her answer was actually really good. She was like, "I would go to Walmart in the parking lot and put it on my hood and start honking my horn and make sure that everybody saw it." And took
Make sure every Walmart patron in the world can see this thing.
right. So
To be honest,
it can't be denied or taken away. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's actually
Yeah.
a really good answer.
I was like,
like
I like that. Not what I would do, but I like it.
that's fucking brilliant, to be honest. Son of a bitch. It makes me think about God, and I've told Kip about this before. Have you ever seen the movie Strange Wilderness
Oh no,
with
I know
Steve
that,
Zahn?
yeah, I have not. I know what it is, but I have not seen it.
You have to check it out, and if you really want to wait until your boys are a couple years older and they could watch a movie like this. But basically, the guy's dad was like legendary, like kind of like the Croc Hunter, and he had a nature show that he ended up taking over after his old man passed away. And he's kind of run it into the ground, and then like a last ditch effort to save it before they take it off the air, they convince the network to let them do a special where they go hunting for Bigfoot. So they go across country with this ragtag team. It's like a Happy Madison production, and not to spoil anything. So they find him, but what they do when they find him is absolutely amazing. They're filming, and he comes out of a cave behind him, and they freak out and gun him down. And they're like, "Oh shit, we can't use that footage. What do we do?" And the one guy's like, "I got an idea." And to this day, I piss myself whenever I watch this. They film all new footage where they're entering the cave, and when they get into the cave, they're like, "Oh no, what is this?" Bigfoot is now hung from the ceiling with a note underneath him that says, like one of those "I can't take this world anymore" type things. But he's still filled with bullet holes and bleeding.
Amazing.
Like, even I was expecting you to say they Weekend at Bernie's it.
And that's what I was picturing. That's why I was like,
it was, oh god, the whole damn movie.
Roar.
It's so amazing. It's like, it's kind of cult classic on the level of like Grandma's Boy. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
you gotta check that.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, Strange Wilderness is a fantastic one. I watched that one with my in-laws for the first time, and even they were like, "This is a good choice." All right. That's a good one.
So, Charlie, I've watched a few episodes, several episodes actually, of the Lost Monster Files. You guys always take, I don't, if you can't say it, you can't answer the question, that's fine, whatever. But I got to get it out.
Yeah.
You guys get all this evidence. You guys take DNA samples, blood samples, hair samples, and you have the time, and you say you're going to send it off and get it tested and all this stuff. Never did I really catch any actual conclusive evidence or conclusive decision based on what you found. Just, we're going to send this off and get it tested. What do you think? Or what do you think it is? Is there ever actual evidence as to what something is?
So I will say that,
without spoiling the magic of it.
Yeah. So there's a bit of storytelling involved, right? Like the edit chooses what gets shown, right? The Chupacabra episode, the dog, I went to Texas. That lady was completely legit. This is all right. Here, we'll just say it. I don't think that what I refer to as the North American Chupacabra is the same thing as the Chupacabra that was seen in Puerto Rico, right? Where the term originated. Like, I just don't think it's the same. I do think that the dog that the lady had, that's what they call a Chupacabra in that part of the world. And I do think that based on the DNA tests that we got from that dog and the dog that Brittany saw, I think they're similar. I think they're the same, right? Like, if we have the legitimate match here and the legitimate match there's nothing to me that says these aren't the same and this isn't the Chupacabra, right?
So basically unknown species of canid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. Okay. I don't think that it's anything, mystical or fantastical or like particularly undiscovered. I think it's a hybrid dog. And that's what we call it in North America. But that doesn't make for great television to be like, I think it's a hybrid dog. I think the North American Chupacabra is a hybrid dog.
Okay.
And, so the way that gets cut is, it's not me going, I don't know. Because that's not great TV.
And that's the same issue I have with almost all the shows, the Legend of Oak Island and all these other shows that do mystery solving. They never solve the mystery. Like, I understand you solve the mystery, you end the show. So I get that. You keep doing seasons, you can never solve it. But there's got to be more that they're not saying that they found, because everything they're doing has weight. Everything they're doing has some evidence that they found. So what was that?
So for me, the most exciting episode and the most fulfilling episode, it actually was the last one that we filmed. And it was the last one that they aired, coincidentally. Probably because it was the best one, was finding a gator that somebody dumped in a cave. I don't know if you got to that one, but
the cave dragon of Arkansas.
Yeah. So there's this thing called the Gowrow down there, and that legend goes way, 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 way back. And right from the jump, Troy's going, "That's a gator. That's a gator." And Brittany's like, "I don't know. Sanderson thought it was this, that, and the other thing," which he did. Sanderson did think it was like a unique, like neo dinosaur thing. And I'm sitting there going like, there's miles and miles and miles and miles of these caves. And we know there's gators in the rivers. And we know that there's feeder streams off the rivers that run through the caves. Like, it could be a gator.
Not that far of a stretch. Yeah.
Right. I was like, I don't think it's that far of a stretch. We might actually be able to crack this one.
I mean, they found saltwater sharks in fresh water before. So, I mean, that's
right.
That's not out of the realm of possibility.
For Brittany's sake, I was like, I hope it's a neo dinosaur. I hope we find some weird lizard thing down there, and that, like, that'd be rad, like, no doubt. But the fact that we were able to find a gator, I was like, oh my god, we did it. To your point, I'm like, we did it. We found something. Oh my god, like, we can close this out. Like, this is
File
amazing.
Closed.
Right. I was like, hell yes, this rules. I was so excited. I was just like over the moon. On that one. I don't know if you saw the Alaska one. That one was a bummer for me because it was fun. Aquatic cryptids are my favorite. And we're out there and we're chumming, and there's all kinds of stuff out there. That was one that I wanted something more conclusive, knowing that there were orcas in the water and stuff. And I'm like, something's big, like there's something huge on the radar. And like, I'm not a marine biologist, so I'm going, what is that?
And if it's aggressive enough to be hunting orcas, that's right. Pretty impressive. Like, that's not everything. I mean, there's not a lot out there that can do that.
Right?
Yeah, and orcas hunt great whites. So I mean, like, what hunt orcas? You know what I mean?
But it was some big blob popped up on the radar, and I'm like, do we have cameras down there? Oh my god! And it was like, as soon as we got done filming that one, like, Kip, I knew I had the same feeling of just like, oh, we're not going to be able to close this one. Damn, it got away. There was something there.
I think it's amazing, and I love the shows. I love the style of show. I love learning about things that you guys are doing. Learning about Sanderson, knowing that Sanderson existed, I should say. Sorry. And that there have been cryptid hunters for decades and a century even. People have been looking for these things since man came out of the caves, so to speak.
Right.
It's great to learn this kind of stuff, and it's fun for me. So.
Well, thanks, man. I hope we get to do it again. I'd love to keep doing it. That's the thing about having Arcane Carolinas and our little spin-off Arcane destinations that we do sometimes with other cities and states. Like, I'll get to keep doing it. It's just, will I have the network resources behind me? That's the question.
Do you ever get frustrated with it, or by people's responses and stuff to stuff like this?
Oh my god, I laugh a lot. I laugh so hard at people that are like, they don't understand that it's storytelling. The television is storytelling. They don't understand that. And, in the comments are like, oh my god, that lady didn't know what she was doing, or oh my god, what are Charlie's credentials? And it's just like, dude, it's TV. Like, they're not going to go into everything. Like, they don't have time for that. They have a time slot. They got to tell a story, start to finish. They follow us around for a week or two. And they put together something that's entertaining that also teaches people something. Like, it's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug to studying the stuff more. Yeah. So I think my frustration comes from people that take it not looking for these types of creatures, but the entertainment aspect of it. They take it a little bit too seriously and don't really understand that the job of television and entertainment in general is to spark curiosity, right? Look at Discovery's mission statement. It's like to spark discovery. It's, the goal is to inspire people to look at the natural world a little bit more, not necessarily to find every single creature every single time.
Because if we found everything, what would there be left? There'd be no.
They wouldn't have a channel anymore.
Mystery. Be nothing left to discover. Yeah.
Also, to the point you made earlier, it's like, and this is something that, I have said repeatedly. I'm like, look, we're going to go out there. We're really going to be there. We're really going to have the resources that, we have, and we're going to give it our best shot. But we maybe have 2 weeks. Right? Like, this isn't, we're not gonna be out. Like, when you look at these documentaries about like chimpanzee colonies that they study for years, right? It literally takes years for people to produce those documentaries. We go out there and have 2 weeks, and it's like, all right, we'll see what we can get.
Chimp Nation had 20 years, and the stuff that they got was mind-boggling. No, I wouldn't call that questionable. They were set up, man. They had rules. They weren't allowed to bring food. They weren't allowed to interact. They weren't allowed within a certain amount of distance of them. They did nothing to change their their living habits or the way that they were in any way, shape, or form. They didn't want to disturb them. And what they found was like they have gangs. They have tribes. They commit murder. Like they're wild. They were smart enough to draw one of the head chimps from a rival clique or gang, whatever you want to call it, away, just so that they could kill him.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that they were smart enough to draw a picture of it so they all knew who to kill.
Right? Like they just held it up. And they were like,
but yeah,
like
I guess
that's wild.
But I'll give it the soundbite answer to your question would be, I don't really get frustrated. I get amused a bit at people's perspective because it feels kind of narrow. And I'm like, okay, buddy, cool.
Some people just want to be a dick and try to debunk you and make you feel stupid,
Right. It's just like, okay, man, well, you know what? Go get your own show and do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah. They lost their childlike nature. They don't understand what it's like to try to believe anymore.
Right.
You gotta have fun. That's all there is to it. You gotta have fun.
I've told
people not having fun, it's not doing it.
I've told people that conventions that'll say something like, I really think that you were full of shit on this take on, whatever, this ghost or this monster or whatever, or this UFO. And I'm like, I can see that you're really passionate about this, and I appreciate that. And I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to come here today and talk to me about this. And I really think you should start your own show and tell people how you feel.
Thank you for spending your money to get in here and talk shit to me. I appreciate that.
Right.
You know what? You could do a podcast on that and just, let the whole world know.
Right. Go on. Get it out.
Charlie Mewshaw is trash. And yeah, just name it that because, hey, any publicity is good, right?
Or just, name your podcast Screw Menshaw, because then it won't even be connected to you in any way.
Yeah, then they'll just get confused. Yeah.
Right. Then they'll find this show.
So,
and
there was a story. There was a story I heard, and if you want to tell it, you can. If not, you don't have to. But I heard something about a haunted Obi-Wan Kenobi action figure involved with your life.
Yeah, that was a freaky one. I still have it. Yeah, I'll share that one. So
like a Star Wars Annabelle story, like what the hell?
So
something like that.
When it all right, I won't give any preface. We'll just jump right into it. So I was living in this house. It was a basement apartment. So the upstairs part of the house was my buddy's grandparents' house, and the grandfather, the old man, had passed away. And since he had passed away, there had been like some weird stuff with some electrical things, but it was an old house or whatever. And then the grandmother passed away. And I'm still living in the basement apartment, and they're like cleaning up the upstairs, and they're gonna like redo it and everything. But so I'm living down there by myself, and some weird stuff started happening. My faucet in my bathroom turned on by itself. And I was like, well, it's an old house and the water pressure and blah, 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 blah. That's not the way.
Make up excuses for
it. Yeah. So I like make sure it's all the way shut and super tight. I'm like, yep, all right, we're good. So like that turns on again a couple of nights later, and I'm like, that's fucking weird. All right, put that back. Definitely water pressure. And I had this Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, original trilogy, Obi-Wan. And he was from the Diamond Select Toys Ultimate Quarter Scale line. So the thing's huge. And you press the button on the back, and he said, "That's no boot, it's a space station." And he's like in a box in my closet, like with other collectibles and crap that I just didn't have out. And I'm in bed, and that's no moon. It's a space station in the middle of the night. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, so I get up, and it does it again, like a couple seconds later. And so I get up and I go in the closet and I like pull it down and I look at it and I'm like, I push the button and it talks and says it once. I'm like, I put it back on the shelf, go back to bed. Like the next night or so, it happens again. And then at one point it started going really fast. It was like, that's like as if somebody was pressing the button repeatedly. Like, that's no moon. It's a space. That's no moon. It's a that. And I'm like, and at that point I was like, nope. Like, and at this point I'm like, all right, what? Like, you all know me. Like, stop. Really,
how old are you again at this?
At this point, I'm in my late 20s.
I just like the idea of him standing on his bed in his 20s going, come on! Come on!
What do you
Take
want?
a shot!
Well, that
That's right.
Lots of weird stuff in that house. I also like was sleepwalking a lot in that house, which was weird. At one point I woke up outside in the snow, like, and what woke me up was how cold it was. And I was just like, what? So there's something. There was something.
That's not good.
No, there was something weird going on there. So they rehabbed the upstairs and rejoined the downstairs apartment into the upstairs. My friend still lives there to this day. And he'll even say, he's like, yeah, dude, my house is definitely haunted. Like, we get phantom smells and like lights flicker, and like it was definitely just my grandparents messing with you. I'm like, great, awesome.
But I bet you he never had a ghost pick up dog poop and put it in the toilet.
Did that happen?
100%.
Year and a half mystery.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. I had just moved in the house here, and the dog had done his business on the floor while we were gone.
As you can see him behind me, he's pretty big.
That's
he's
a large,
almost 100 pounds. You know,
he pooped in the living room while we were gone. We were both out of the house. There was nobody around. We checked with all our friends. Nobody had come into the house. Nobody was even home that would have come into our house.
Yeah.
When we got home, I walked in to go use the bathroom, and there was a paper towel and part of that mess in the toilet. But there was still half a pile in the living room. So this is the most ridiculous ghost story I've ever had to tell. But yeah,
I think he's full of shit.
Called. No, the toilet was, and the floor was. I'm not. But no, it was just we were both gone, and we called friends, anybody that we thought of that could have come in.
Yeah.
Nobody was around. Nobody was even in town that could have
I
come
went so
in.
far as to call my ex-wife and be like, hey, are you fucking with me for fun?
So we called the landlord. We called the landlord and said, hey, did you come in and do something in the house? And like while we were gone? Because he usually lets us know if he's coming in. But yeah, nobody came in the house. Nobody would admit to the fact that they came into the house.
It exhausted its corporeal form and couldn't finish the duty.
Ha.
I personally, before we wrap up the ghost stories, I'll tell you this one. I'd never seen anything in my entire life until May of this year. So it was about a week before my grandmother passed away, and I was at her house, and her and my grandfather lived in that house. Well, she's been there for over 50 years. He was there for close to 30 with her. He died in the house. A week later, she passed away in the house. But I was kind of going over to kind of do a final goodbye. And I went there, and before I left, my mom, who was staying there taking care of her, she goes, hey, there's some people coming over to see your grandmother. Can you help me wrangle the dogs and get them upstairs? Because she's got 3 small dogs. And she's like, they're gonna bark and jump and this and that, and I just don't want to have the noise and the fuss right now. I'm like, yeah, I got you, no problem. So I grab some treats and I go to lead the dogs up the stairs, and it's one of those old school stairways where it's like 2 or 3 steps this way and then turn, and then the rest of the stairway is up, right? And I look down at the dogs and I got the treats, and I look up, and as I turn, I see a pair of legs in pajama pants go up about 5 steps and disappear into the dark.
Oh man.
And I got chills. It was weird because I didn't get scared, but at the same time I went, nope. Dogs are staying down here.
Wow. Yeah, I've never seen anything. Yeah, that's
I found
crazy.
out the next day. She goes, yesterday was your grandparents' wedding anniversary.
Oh.
I was like, well, there it is. Maybe he was just coming to say see you soon.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot
to be said for energies.
That's what I was gonna get. There's a lot to be said about like the
Yeah.
emotional charge of energies and like residual energy in an environment, and yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of things we have no concept of based on our current science. Like it just doesn't exist yet.
I have this whole 25-cent explanation that I like to give people as to why I believe, and it has to do with perception and like how there's some people can see color and some people can't, right? And animals can hear things that we can't, and we don't fully understand how consciousness works. So it stands to reason for me that there's other sort of, for lack of a better way of putting it, mechanisms, somewhere in there rattling around in our brain, which is essentially our central nervous system is our transceiver. It both receives and emits energy. Like maybe there's some stuff in there that like we don't quite have tuned just right, and some people have it more tuned than others, and that's why some people might see something and other people might not.
Fair explanation.
I mean, it's pretty damn reasonable.
Well,
we can make another hour out of stuff like UFOs and ghosts and stuff like that. So, well, if you're willing, we'll have to have you back sometime if you got time.
Yeah, you guys are great. We didn't even really get to talk about wrestling.
I know.
So we'll do an entire hour with you just on wrestling. All right?
just to kind of have a tidbit to look forward to and get a sense of your true fandom before we do our end of the podcast questionnaire. Your Mount Rushmore for pro wrestling.
Oh, geez. Okay. So how many is that? 5? 4?
4.
Okay.
Top 4.
Hey, look at me not knowing my American landmarks. Okay.
4 horsemen.
Yeah, but I bet you'd know what it was if Bigfoot was on there.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Andre.
He's like Undertaker, Andre, Ric Flair, and that damn Sam Squatch.
So I was gonna say Andre, Ric Flair, Undertaker, and then it's Mount Rushmore, so it's got to be. I feel like he's not even retired. Do they have to be retired?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
John Cena.
Damn thing wrong with that. It's a good list. A damn good list.
I mean, he'll be retired soon, but he's not yet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, if I can put him up there, I will. I mean, just for his Make-A-Wish shit, if nothing else. Like,
oh yeah.
Right. Like the guy overtook Hulk Hogan and Michael Jordan for the most wishes granted ever.
Yeah, he's like, it's crazy. It's like 650 or something. Something like
that. His rule is he just doesn't say no. Yeah.
Right.
He just doesn't say no.
I'll tell you who my my kids love right now is Joe Hendry. My kids.
Oh, who doesn't?
Actually, a very, very nice guy. I got the honor of meeting him one night. He is the sweetest, just nicest guy that you could ever imagine. Got a really cool accent too. He's
I want to get. They make a TNA has a Hendry Wrestle Buddy, like the stuffed thing. But you can only get it at the events because like I've emailed them and I'm like, dude, I need to buy this for my 5-year-old. I don't. It's not a want. Like I need to buy this for my 5-year-old. And I haven't gotten anything back. I even sent him a message on Instagram that was like, hoping one of your PR people sees this. I really just want to buy a Hendry Buddy for my child.
We have a very good friend that has his contact, so we'll see what we can do.
That'd be rad. Yeah. But yeah, he's the big name in my house right now. Where it's
He's
a
a
lot.
lot of fun. He's a good guy to have around. I like his gimmick and everything. So
Yeah.
You know, if we put the Joe Hendry thought process onto Bigfoot, we could find him right away.
We could. We
Right.
could be
Say
Well,
his name and he appears. And
so we've probably been pronouncing it wrong. Like it's got like a W turned into an N or something. But,
there
like,
you go.
you're never living that down, bud.
But,
He's like, it was big feats, plural.
he's
Plural.
he's in his cave going, I'm not going to correct him, but I'm not coming
Yeah.
out either.
My feet really
I'm not
aren't that
helping.
big either. I don't know what they're talking about.
They can come in here and pretend like I killed myself. I don't care.
My name is Herbert. What's going on?
Right.
That's why I used to love the travel show Eric Young used to do, the wrestler who used to be in TNA. Because he would always refer to him as that damn Sam Squatch.
Damn Sam Squatch. Yep.
So you never
awesome.
know.
Well, I
But
really
we
appreciate
like
you guys
to.
having me on.
Oh no, we appreciate having you on, man. We had a blast. We like to end the podcast though with a questionnaire that was
Sure.
made famous by Bernard Pivot and Mr. James Lipton, because we're not very good podcasters and we don't know how to end these things. So we steal from someone else who did it really well. And we just hope that we don't screw it up. But
Okay.
Kip, go ahead.
What is your favorite word?
Ubiquitous.
Ooh, that's a good one. What is your least favorite word?
This one's very, very basic. Moist.
What sound or noise do you love?
Honestly, farts are hilarious.
Anybody who
sound or
doesn't
noise do
like
you
farts or laugh at them, they're lying.
Right. It's universally funny. It's a universal language of comedy. Farts are funny and you can connect with anybody over them if they're not a jerk.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Like a high-pitched squealing? Like it's just not, yeah. Any high-pitched squeal.
I get you. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, geez. I really want, my retirement plan is to do like a Sanford and Sons junk collecting and salvage type deal. So I'm gonna be a salvage guy.
That's original. I haven't heard that one yet. What profession other than your own would you not like to attempt?
Probably cooking, because I really like cooking, and having worked in enough restaurants, I don't want to go back to working in restaurants.
Food service sucks.
Yeah, like I enjoy cooking for the sake of it, not for work.
Creatively, what turns you on?
Possibility. I like to let my mind wander.
In the same vein, what turns you off?
When you're trying to share an idea when you're still in the exploring phase and you get shut down.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
And this one's my favorite question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hey, you did all right. Come on in.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Charlie. We've really had a good time with you today. Before we go, why don't you just tell everybody where they can find you?
Sure. So the quickest way to find me is arcanecarolinas.com. That has links to most of my stuff. You can go to charliemewshaw.com. That's MEWSHAW for the last name. And that
Do you feel
definitely
attacked yet? Do you feel attacked yet?
Sorry, man. I'm just having too much fun with that because I actually don't care is the thing.
I like that it allowed me to figure out this Brady Bunch thing. Like I'm looking there for Kip, and I know I can go here for you.
Oh wait,
now.
I'm this way. Yeah, I gotta look this way.
Yeah,
I actually have to
yeah,
look
see?
towards where you're at too. That's weird.
I'm gonna do
A
this.
little bit, yeah.
CharlieMewshaw.com has links to all my socials and stuff like that.